All right, what's up, man? What are we doing? We underwriting? We just talking about deals, realtors? What are we doing?
Yeah, yeah. So you had asked the chat actually if you sent in the dispo form to do a one
Oh, that's
with you.
right. Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes. I want to take a look at your deal.
yes, sir. Actually, I just spoken with Brandon about the deal.
Oh,
Actually,
okay. So you guys were talking.
yeah, we were, but I'm not sure if he still wanted to do this. But yeah,
Did you guys get everything figured out?
Yeah, he got the story. He got the whole story. He's gonna go ahead and relay that back to the buyer and to see if they're gonna be interested. And from there, we're gonna probably schedule something like a viewing. And then yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then, since you guys already took care of that, let me ask you this. Now, you know me. Hopefully, you've seen from all of the videos and all the times you hear me. I want to hear the truth.
I'll
So
give you the truth.
good, bad, and everything in between. In your honest opinion, how's being attached to Deal Sniper working out for you? I know you haven't
Uh,
closed anything yet, but I want to know your opinion.
Oh man, it's been amazing. How long has it been? It's been less than a month in this program. Given its value, I mean, what is this like 30 bucks, I think?
I think
Right.
so. Yeah.
It's 30 bucks a month. You'd assume that it's just a software, but it's not a software. It's a software and an amazing community. I mean, you've been a complete asset. I just started talking to Brandon today. I just found out he's part of your team today. He's been pretty cool.
I try
Um,
and keep them on like the down low because I mean you see how many people ask me questions. And if they
yeah,
find
yeah.
out, like I've got a couple of my acquisitions team members are in the chat as well, and they're always like, Sean, you want me to answer some of these questions? I'm like, nah, man, if you do, then you're gonna be a target and everybody's gonna be asking you questions. So I don't know if you want
Yeah,
to do that.
I'm thinking that you're not even real sometimes. Like you got to be AI because there's so many inquiries, but you're always answering them somehow, even though you're busy, which is
Oh yeah.
amazing.
Well, you got to be a little crazy. There's six of me, so it's all good. We just swap out.
I mean, yeah, there like it feels like there's six of you in the chat when there's really just one, and you're always answering everyone individually. Like you're replying to them, you're replying to DMs. Brandon was really cool. Like he actually gave me a call on my personal number, so we were able to touch bases on that. So like it's even to the point where like I have Brandon's personal number, like I have some of your team's personal number. So it's been really good. I mean, I've got basically one deal cooking up right now, possibly another. Actually, I want to talk about that later on. But yeah,
Yeah, we can talk
Deal
about it.
Sniper
Talk about it.
community has been amazing so far. And this is just with me doing manual labor. And I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty half-assed. Like I've only sent like 200 and something in like
And I'm
almost three
oh, that's only
in like
50%, dude.
exactly. So I'm just saying like this is me like low key half-assing it, like only putting in like less than like an hour or like 2 hours a day. And I've already got something cooking up. And even if it does fall through, me knowing that I only put in half the effort and I've already almost gotten a contract close to the closing line, that's just telling me like, oh my, like this has so much value in it, you know? Like
All right.
imagine if I gave it my all.
That's true. I'm not going to yell at you for that. But let me ask you this, though. So that's the good stuff. Where do you foresee bottlenecks? Where are there things that can be tweaked to be better? Because it can't be all rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the software itself is already really good. I mean, I let me think. Like in terms of bottlenecks, I feel like most of it would probably just come from the community. When I say most, I'm not saying there's a lot of issues. I'm just saying that more than likely it's going to come from the community and not the software itself. I mean, the software does have its fair shares of bugs, but I know you guys are already working on it, and it's nothing crazy. Um,
Well, what about the community itself? Is there any more resources or any other documentation, content, calculators, anything else that you would think that someone with your experience level would need coming into this to be successful?
to be successful. Honestly, I had my fair share of connections already, but let's just say, for example, I was like completely new, right? Like all I knew was this. All I knew was Deal Sniper community. It'd be really nice if you were able to connect us with, you know, title agents or maybe even like loan officers or maybe other real estate agents who are looking to move their deals. I know that's something that some other communities may have. Is having just obviously you being the main guy, but there's also other people in different specialties in there that can answer those specific questions. I guess to just also expand the community's reach, that'd be really nice too. I'm not
Okay.
sure how that can be implemented.
Well, let's workshop that a little bit, or maybe we should do it on the train. Are you going to be on the training tonight?
What time is it?
It's at 6 p.m. Central. It's in like an hour and a half.
I'll try to make it. I'll probably be there in the background.
Well, I wanted to, because I could use you to remind me because I would forget. But
Okay.
let's workshop it a little bit. So you said add other real estate professionals. What would be the bit? And I'm not questioning you. I don't know. I've never thought about it. What would be the benefit to having, let's say, a title officer in the community, like to answer questions? What kind of questions do you think they would get asked?
Well, first and foremost, I heard somewhere that there are title companies. If you build a proper relationship with them, like personally, like I know my loan officer because I'm not sure if I told you I have a couple properties under my belt that I own. Like
Nice.
he literally took me out to a baseball game, you know. But my point is, you know, a physical connection doesn't have to be made, but one online would be really nice because I know there's a couple things. Like one, he could be your buyer, you know, for all you know. He could be the one to connect you with the buyer. You know, imagine someone gets rejected for a loan or doesn't want this loan because he doesn't like that interest rate. Maybe you can possibly talk to his loan officer to give him your deal. Another thing is a loan officer can help a newbie. I mean, you could probably already do this. Like, you know everything, Sean, but I'm just saying, like, let's just
Oh,
say
I don't know everything.
well, you know a lot of things. You know a lot of things, but for example, you could probably have the loan officer answer any title or escrow questions. You know, that's like from a newbie's perspective. You know, that's just
Okay.
something I could think of.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, you
Yeah.
say you have a relationship with yours. Do you think he would do it?
Do you think he would do it? I mean, the guy's the one that kind of put me onto like these wholesaling groups. He's like, "Yo, Nyson, get on, get on Facebook groups. Like, literally join anything that you see. Literally, you'll see deals being posted and sold within like the same hour." I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then that's kind of when I got into like the whole wholesaling space. It's from this guy. Yeah, I'm not sure if he would say yes. I'd just say maybe. I don't know
Like he wouldn't
exactly.
have to. He wouldn't have to. I mean, obviously, a specialist coming in like a title person or a loan officer, they're not using the software. So to add them to the Discord community as a specialist, that's nothing. Like it's not like they would have to pay for it.
No, it's not. It's just another community. I mean, the guy's already joined many communities, so maybe I can try.
I mean, if he's interested, and it's definitely something that I'm going to. I'll put a message out and remind me tomorrow if I forget. If you don't see one, but I'm going to put a message out and we're going to take a poll and we'll find out. You know, we'll see if that's. I've never thought of it. Like having realtors in here is great. I love having realtors in the community, except for when some of the newer people will start dogging on a realtor because of their response. And it's like, guys, there's like realtors like in here, like you're talking crap on
Oh,
them.
is that why? Is that why you say that?
Well, that and you know,
Okay.
I don't think that there's any reason. Like, there's one guy in the community, real passionate about wholesaling. He's got a real deep why as to why he wants to succeed. Everything's great, but his fuse is so short. He sent me a message earlier today of a realtor. Realtor said, "I don't understand. Why is the payment this amount?" And okay, here's what my seller wants. My seller said they'll take this, and it was like a ridiculous interest rate. It's like a 10% or 11%. And he lit the real estate agent up. And I'm like, I told him, he forwarded me the message thinking that I was going to laugh. And I told him, like, hey, man, that's what the seller said they wanted. The real estate agent didn't make that decision. The real estate agent didn't pick that percentage. But now you burnt that bridge because if that real estate agent is ever listing a property again and they see your offer come, they're just going to bypass it. You know what I mean? That's not how you build relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about building bridges, not breaking them. So that's part of the reason. Like, I don't think it like there's times where a realtor will go off the rails and it's funny. I understand, like, yeah, we can laugh about that. But just because a realtor says that they don't understand or they ask for something that might be a little more than what we can offer, first of all, they don't know what we can offer. They don't know our numbers, they don't know our SOPs, and they're still trying to get the best deal for their client. I just think that realtors and wholesalers should really be working together, not fighting all the time.
Oh no, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I mean, my mom is a realtor, so oh, she was
Yeah.
a
Now, could
realtor.
you imagine if you saw one of those Discord messages and they're talking about your mom?
Yeah, I know. I mean, just in general, you know, just be nice to people in general, you know,
That's
even if
all
they
I'm
give you
saying.
the
Yeah. Even if someone comes back, like one of the best things you can do is someone like lighting you up, cussing, especially if it's verbal, like if it's
Mhm.
over the phone or in person, and you're just like, all right, well, I'll tell you what, if anything changes or if your situation changes, let me know. My offer's good. And you just respond with complete and utter professionalism and kindness. That's the biggest burn. That's a bigger burn than anything you could say.
Yeah, it'll definitely
So if you're
stick with them
trying
too.
to burn someone, what do they say? Kill them with kindness. Just do that.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And plus, who knows? Maybe we call them at a bad timing or something. Like I don't know, man. We don't know their circumstance too.
That's what I'm
We,
saying. You never know.
yeah, no, yeah. But that's great to hear that there's actually realtors in the chat too. That means that
Yeah.
there's more realtors being open to this whole idea of creative financing.
Yeah, and you know what I'm finding is that realtors, what I'm finding from these realtors that we're speaking to and interviewing is that realtors, especially the new school realtors, even the old school, but especially the new school realtors, they just don't know. They don't know any better. They're taught
Mhm.
anything other than a cash offer is bad. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
automatically defensive about it, let alone they'd rather have the house just stay on market and let the contract expire than entertain something that everyone the entire time they were learning to be a realtor told them was bad.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
all it is.
Unfortunately, that's not taught in the handbook, I guess.
Well, the crazy thing is that it is. So
Oh, is it? It is.
subject
Really?
subject to from I know for California, Texas, Nevada, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Florida, uh is it you got Missouri, Washington, Rhode Island, and a bunch of other ones. Subject to is like chapter 5 in one of the books they have to read to pass their test. Like
Really?
it's in there. But you got to remember, you first of all, how many people read and absorb everything for a test, especially when everyone around you, your teachers, your other realtors, the people who work at the company that you're working at, you just started, they all say anything but cash is bad, so don't even worry about that. You just kind of forget that knowledge. You're not using it.
Mm, interesting. Is that something that was newly added?
No, no. Subject 2 has been around for a very, very, very long time. I'm not going to pretend to know when it started. Maybe since the beginning. I don't know, but I know it's been around for more than a decade. I think that's easy. That's a layup right there to say that.
Okay, got it. Interesting. So yeah, sometimes I do have to explain it to them. Honestly, most realtors are nice. You're gonna get like a couple of bad apples here and there.
Yeah,
And like literally, they email me back so unprofessionally. But there are a few that say, "Thank you so much for your offer. I'll kindly send this to the seller." Blah blah blah. I was like, okay, thank you. But there's so many that literally like write in all caps, exclamation mark, like, bro, calm down. It's just an offer, But
yeah,
again, I can't judge them.
yeah. And a lot of times that type of emotional response to an offer usually denotes that they've been burned by a wholesaler before. They've seen something similar to this before that burned them, and they just think you're going to do the same thing. That's all.
Mm.
Just
Well,
like someone getting bit by a dog as a kid. Every time they see a dog, they think that dog's going to bite them too.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've loved this community so far. In terms of input, let's see. Let me just breeze through this Discord real quick. Yeah, in terms of community, people have been really good. I love how you've been adding more channels. I like that new buyers channel. That was something I was going to bring up actually before this call a couple of days ago, but it looks like you already added it.
Yeah,
Um,
that was actually Jonathan's idea.
yeah, Jonathan's been pretty chill actually. He's been helping so much.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I haven't spoken to him yet. And at first, I was like, I see him answering a bunch of questions, and I look back and I'm like, are his answers good? And every single one of them is on point. So I'm like, all right, yeah, go
Oh,
Jonathan.
nice, nice. Yeah, I love all the educational resources. Oh, it'd be good
What?
if we had like I don't know if you've done these before, but like a cold call, like not mastermind, but like some kind of like pro cold call script or something. I know you have like
Who are you
some
cold
answers.
calling?
Not cold calling. Yeah, we are cold calling. Like, for example, for me personally, what I've been doing other than emailing is before I email, I always try to reach out to them and call them. And usually I actually get a better answer than on the email. I know you already have like a cheat sheet for like, specific questions, but I
Mhm.
think you should make a guideline of like, this is what should happen. If he says this, then this is the path you go to. This is how you get a conversation. If he doesn't, then you go here. Like an SOP for a cold call to a realtor proposing the idea of creative finance.
Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm just trying to think of the best medium to do that in. Would that be something written, or maybe a video, or maybe a role play between me and an actual realtor?
Oh, that'll be so good, man. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you to do that. Like, I want to hear you on the phone. That's the best way to learn. Like, in terms of a script, it's not going to be word for word. It should just be like in parentheses, roughly this is what you should say. This is like how the conversation should go through, how it should be roughly. And then from there, you memorize that idea of that script and then listen to how you master the calls with the realtors. After some time, then obviously the best thing to do is maybe like a one-on-one or just go straight into calling realtors. And that's that. I mean, I've seen videos on TikTok of people kind of doing this creative finance thing for on-market deals. A lot of them sound so unprofessional. Not just that, but they don't sound confident. Like they sound like they're just wasting the realtor's time.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, because that is the biggest reason why I don't post my recordings. Now, I have hours and hours and hours of recordings of me talking to sellers about creative financing, closing, subject to seller finance, hybrids, sub twos, doesn't matter, innovations, closing it all. And I even have videos where I'm pausing the video, like I'm narrating my own call, telling you guys why I did certain things, why I said what I said, why this works, why I have that. But for realtors, and what I noticed when I trained my very first team, and they've all graduated and they've got their own teams and their own wholesale businesses now. They don't need me anymore, which is the goal. My goal is to make it to where people don't need me. You know it now. But what I found is that them listening to my calls made it worse,
Oh,
because
really?
they saw the way that I did it. A lot of times we did it live, where I would just have them on the other line listening in on mute. And it made it worse, because not only, like, all right, like, I don't ever consider myself the boss or anything like that, but I see the person who's supposed to be training me. I already expected him to be good and better than me. Now I just heard him pull this off for the last hour and a half, because my calls are long, and it made it worse. So what I did with my second team was I made them do it. And even if they messed up, it didn't matter, because that experience of getting your teeth kicked in a few times from a realtor, you'll
Mhm.
know exactly how to navigate almost everything, instead of trying to sound like an unrealistic version of me.
Okay. Then what are your thoughts on just like a loose script of like how the general direction of a conversation should go? Because you have really good not comebacks. What's the word? Like you have really good answers to a lot of your questions. Like
You
um
talking about rebuttals?
yeah, rebuttals basically. You have really good rebuttals when you're talking. I know that because you answer some people's questions. Like these are the realtor's concerns, and then your rebuttals are like they're really smooth. You know, I can't name one on top of my head, but I just remember it being good.
Well, no, that's okay, and I appreciate that. Here's the thing with that, though. The reason why I come off so smooth is because I've stumbled so many times before. See, everyone has some sort of sales swag. They just don't know what it is. And the reason why they don't know what their own sales style is, their own little mojo to get a deal done, is because they're too busy trying to copy other people. What works for me isn't going to work for you. I have a very unique skill. No, not the guy from Taken. I'm crazy. So I know, and that's not a joke. If I'm talking to someone and the current mood that I'm in, we'll use mood as a word, the current mood that I'm in doesn't mesh with that person, I can just switch to a different mood. And then boom, now I'm connecting with that person like real bros. That's how I get people to do whatever I tell them, because I connect with people. That, and I genuinely care. When I'm talking to someone, whatever your problem is, if I care about you and I care about everyone, if you've got a problem, that now becomes my problem. Emotionally, mentally, physically, that's now my problem. I feel it. So now I'm going to work that much harder to get it done for you. And then people can feel that even through the phone. Like, damn, this guy really, he cares like it's his problem. Well, yeah, they don't know this, but it is my problem because I've heard you talk about it. Now I have to fix it. So not everyone can do that. So that's why I make people go through it. I can give you guys recordings for days, but what are you going to do? You're going to try and sound like a shitty version of me instead of sounding like a really good version of you.
I see. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I know. I said it.
I like that. I like the confidence, man.
So again, I mean, I can, but think about your position right now, right? With Deal Sniper. And I say it all the time, and I check every week. We're at like 1.57 million properties listed in the United States. If you got on the phone and called 100,000 realtors and bombed every single one in order to dial in your pitch, that means that you have 1.4 million properties that you can go crush it on. My point is there's an unlimited amount of leads. Anyone using Deal Sniper, there's practically an unlimited amount of leads. So there should be no fear whatsoever getting on the phone and trying something. Hey, I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to call this realtor. I'm going to try some new shit. Try it. Okay, that worked. Cool. Try it again. Oh, didn't work that time. Let's tweak it a little bit. Okay, cool. We'll try it on this one. By the time you have it dialed in, and I've talked to 90%, maybe 80% of the people in the community, you guys aren't stupid. You're all capable of doing exactly what I do. You just have to find your way of doing it. And it'll take you 20, maybe 30 times on the phone with a realtor to realize exactly what they're going to say, what they like to hear, what they don't like to hear, what's going to turn them on and what's going to turn them off.
Okay,
that's it. Or you guys can listen to me talk for hours and hours and hours and hours, try and copy me, and then beat yourself up when it doesn't work because you don't sound like me. You're not supposed to sound like me. You're you. I'm me.
Okay, I see. Well, there's another thing that I think would be good, but I don't know what your thoughts on it because it's basically what you're doing for other people.
What is it?
The dispo side of things. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't mind either way. You're adding a lot of value to the team, so I feel like you do deserve that dispo side of this Deal Sniper. But is there going to be a time where you're going to teach the dispo side of this, or are we just focusing on acquisitions for Deal Sniper?
Oh, no. I'm absolutely teaching the dispo side. Here's the problem. So in answer to Sean, you're always available. Well, yeah. And I'm always answering questions. And then I have another community that I run. And then I have another community that I run. And then I have my acquisitions team, my disposition team. And then I've got several clients that I have to talk to. And doing a disposition video is not a one video thing. There's gonna have to be at least 4 or 5 video series on this, and it just takes a while. That's all. But no, I'm not gatekeeping anything. Just like the post that I posted earlier, I know that there are other people. I know for a fact from DMs and contracts that I've sent out for people that there are people that using Deal Sniper that have already closed on their deals, like have been paid their assignment fee. I don't care who you dispo your deal through. I want you guys to get paid. If you need me, cool. If you have another way to dispo, cool. Use it. I don't care. But I want to hear about when you win. I want to see how it's been going so that other people can be like, oh man, I've sent out, 300 offers, nothing's happened. And then they see a video looking at you when you get this deal that we were talking about earlier locked up and we get that thing closed. And they're like, all right, man, if he can do it, I'm going to keep going. I just don't want people to quit.
I got you.
But yeah, the short answer to your question is I'm absolutely going to teach and post videos on how to dispo your own deals. Now, there is going to be some stuff in there that not all you guys are going to have access to. Like we use Investor Lift, we use Investor Base, we use other platforms that are kind of expensive to pay for. But as far as the free stuff, I'm going to show you guys how to use all that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Investor Lift. It's really expensive.
Yeah, right?
Someone's starting out,
Then they added that Artemis mode on top of it. And we had to get that too.
Oh, you have that?
Of course we do. We got to move you guys' deals.
Oh, dude. Wait, so do you think it's possible that, because I was doing cash deals before this, I
Mhm.
had someone who actually helped me list it, but that guy, I don't think he does this anymore. Could you be the guy to help me out to list also cash deals? And we kind of like split that too.
Yeah, we'll dispo anything. It doesn't have to be a. I will help you guys dispo whatever you want. We can dispo commercial deals too if you want. I don't care. The only thing that we're not good at, full disclosure, is land. We don't have. We've got like 5 buyers that'll buy nationwide land, but they have very specific parameters.
Speaking of commercial, I know there's a lot of people that are getting into commercial creative like that. I heard that's where the big wholesale fees come from.
Hmm.
It's through that. I mean,
Well,
obviously
which
that's really
commercial are you
advanced.
talking about? You talking about commercial like
Um,
apartments, or you talking about commercials like a big Walmart building?
um, I don't know. I forgot what the property was when I was looking at this one guy. He's doing acquisitions for this for commercial property. I think it was a multi-unit.
Okay. Yeah, we do those too.
Awesome. No, what I was saying was because I remember you were saying that you should limit the criteria to 350K. Was there a particular reason for that?
Yeah, that's for newer people. And because again, I want you guys, there are certain things that happen the more you go up in price on a purchase price. So for
Yeah.
newer people who are still don't have maybe the confidence, I tell them to go for lower properties as far as the purchase price because it's easier to move those. We can get them paid quick. That's proof of concept. Their confidence goes up. Now they're pushing out more deals because they've seen that it works. So when you go for a higher purchase price, we'll use $1 million, for example. Let's round numbers, right? So what's our SOP? No more than 10% of the purchase price. Well, on $1 million property, that's $100,000. Now, granted, yes, we have a lot of buyers that can absolutely put down $100,000 or $150,000 in this case to pick up $1 million property if the deal works. But there are so many more buyers who can put down $50,000, $35,000 on a property to get that deal sold faster. You know what I mean? You got a
Okay.
higher probability the bigger your buyer pool is for a certain deal. Our buyer pool for people who can pay 60, 70, $80,000 on an entry fee is smaller than the people who can pay 30, 40, 50.
Okay, I see.
That's all. But then again, if it's a commercial deal, like if it's multi-units, we're going to a different type of buyer than we would push just a normal single family, creative financing deal. So we
Okay.
have that set of buyers internally that are different where, if it's 10 plus units, we're going strictly over here. We're not pushing it to everybody else anyway.
Okay, I see. So, another question of mine that's like a little bit more about the dispo side was when I was listing it, when I put the total entry fee, do I put in my fee with that, or is it just the total entry fee of just the down payment?
Are you talking about on the deal machine calculator?
No, no. Like for example, if I were to list it on Facebook or something.
Oh, yeah, then you're going to list it for whatever your assignment fee is plus what you got it for.
Okay.
So if
Okay,
you
got
got
it.
it under contract for 200 and you want to make 20 grand, you're going to list it for 220.
Got it. And noob question, but what is seller carryback?
Seller carryback is the same thing as seller financing, owner financing. It just means that
Oh,
like on $100,000 purchase price, if we
yeah.
gave them a $10,000 down payment, then the seller carryback would be $90,000.
Okay, got it. And another thing was, remember that one thing that we talked about, that one property where the realtor wanted to move it, the seller wants to do it, but the agency, the brokerage, said no to sub two.
Yeah.
How can I move with that?
So everybody's on board. Everyone's going to get paid. We just have to circumvent the brokerage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Realtors on
Wait.
board, sellers on board. Whoever's
Mm-hmm.
getting paid
Basically.
what has already been decided. We're not screwing anyone over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all you have to do, unfortunately, and someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but from what I understand, unfortunately, the seller's going to have to lie, and so is the agent. And
Mm.
what we're going to have, basically, the story is going to be that you approached the seller outside of the real estate agent, came to an agreement, and you're going to sell it with us.
With the realtor just involved as a JV or just No realtor
So
at all.
what would happen then is once that's agreed upon and everything's signed, then you would sign a JV agreement with the realtor stating that they're going to make X amount of dollars at the close of the sale, assuming, we find a buyer for it.
Okay.
So you would take the A and B contract, the one you sign with the seller. You would also take the JV agreement. And then once we find a buyer, you would take the assignment contract and you would turn all, well, not you, my dispo team would do it, but essentially what we're going to do is turn all three of those into title and escrow. And then they'll do what they do in the background and then divvy out all the money once the deal closes. So they get your assignment fee sent to you by them. The real estate's JV fee would be sent to them, whether a check or through a wire, and then the seller would get their down payment.
The main thing is he doesn't want to betray, quote unquote, his brokerage. He feels like they've done so much for him and all that, and yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not here to make a Faustian deal with somebody. It's just it is what it is. If his brokerage doesn't want to do it, but his seller does, then I guess the only other way that he could clear his conscience would be if we didn't pay him. But I don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
If he did list the property, he worked on it, so he should get paid. Now, again, it's his own conscience. Like, for instance, my first realtor, she was straight as an arrow. Like, she wouldn't bend any rule ever. Like, she was terrified of anything ever happening to her license or her having a blemish on her record. So even when she would bring me off-market deals and I wanted to pay her on the side, I'm talking cash. Like, she was standing right in front of me and I'm trying to hand her an envelope. She said, nope, can't take it. She's like, just pay for lunch and we'll call it. Like, she wouldn't take anything. So if he's like that, then there's not really anything you can do. Just tell him, hey man, look, I understand your loyalty. We're obviously willing to pay you outside of, through escrow on the side. If you're not comfortable with that, then we can just do the deal with your seller directly. And then, you guys can just cancel the listing if we find a buyer. If we don't find a buyer, then you can keep going and try and find a buyer yourself and do it not creatively.
I mean, I don't think that's going to work out. It's been on market for some time now, man.
How long has it been on?
Like over 110 days or something like that.
Over
I forgot.
110 days?
Yeah, definitely over 100 days. Yeah, definitely over 100 days. Let me see here. And the seller's okay with it too. That's the thing. Like, he's okay with the creative financing.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the problem
one.
isn't the deal, it's the realtor's conscience, which I'm all for. Loyalty. Loyalty is very, very important to me. So I commend his loyalty. I just think that he should still get paid for the work that he did. But ultimately, it's his decision. If he says, hey man, I feel if I take this money, I'm going to be, betraying my brokerage, then I mean, okay, we won't give it to you. We'll give it to the seller. Because that's what would happen. The money will go to the seller. But if he does want to get it, then he'll get paid outside of escrow, or he'll get paid through escrow outside of his brokerage.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Or you can ask him, because again, I'm not a real estate agent and I'm not a lawyer. So you can always ask him, say, hey, look, here's what we're prepared to do, but I want to make sure you're comfortable. So how would you like us to proceed? And just see what his input is. He may have an easier solution that we just don't know because we're not realtors.
It's just so funny because literally the sellers came back to me like 2 weeks after I'd sent the email. And within those 2 weeks, they literally called the mortgage company to see if they could do a sub-2. And the mortgage company said yes. So like they even got an approval from the mortgage company that we can do this.
Yeah.
So I'll see what I can do. I mean, I called him, the guy didn't pick up. I texted him, he still hasn't answered. So I think I'll just let this go. It's whatever. But
all right.
Oh, another thing in terms of software, dude. I saw this thing from Pace Morby. I don't know if you guys have the budget to add this, but it would be incredible if you can do this, man. It is so cool.
Shoot.
It's called LOI Blaster. Have you heard about it?
No, I haven't had time to do anything.
Link right now, man. This is so cool, bro. I mean, the concept is already there. If you can go ahead and just find a way to copy it and add it to Deal Sniper, that'd be awesome.
What is this? What
Okay,
does
so
it do?
basically, it's
Oh, you just texted to me.
yeah. So I'll explain to you real quick because the website doesn't really, have great explanations on it. You got to watch videos online, and even
Okay.
so, there's not much videos. But it's one of Pace Morby's many products. It's a letter of intent blaster. So it works the same way where Deal Snapper works,
Mm-hmm.
where it kind of generates sub two deals. I don't think it does seller financing. I think it just does sub two and cash deals. But what it does is you'd have to use something like PropWire, PropStream, or Batch Leads to find on-market properties, uploading to a PDF, and then from there it'll filter out which ones have low equity. All right, like some of them even have negative equity, right?
Right.
And what it'll do is it'll immediately fill it up with the emails and phone numbers of the agent. And then the last step is that it'll blast it all in one go. So literally in a day, you could send 100, 300. Imagine how powerful that'll be with Deal Sniper. It's crazy, man. Thing is, it's
That
kind of
actually would
costly.
be kind of.
It's 500 setup fee and then $100 every month. So I don't know how you guys would like to implement that. That's more money in R&D that you got to put into Deal Sniper. But man, if you can add that, I swear to God, you guys will be one of the best things ever. 100 in a day to 300. That's how much you guys are asking of us in a week. Now
Yeah.
imagine the coverage, but I don't know. Is that chaotic to have so many people do that?
Well,
Maybe.
that would be on you guys. If you guys sent out 100 and you get 50 responses in a week, can you guys handle 50 responses in a week?
Bro,
There's
that's a problem
nothing
that I
I
wish I
can't
could have.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you, man. Like, bro, that's a problem I wish I have, is getting that many responses.
But you know what? At that point, if you had that many responses, then you can pick and choose the best deals and then move on from the rest.
Okay.
No, that might be something to look into. I appreciate that. I'm gonna let the development team know and see if there's something that they can implement that's like that.
Yeah, please do. It's so cool, man. So cool. Like, I might even have to test it out myself, to be honest. I don't know. It seems really good. Like, I'll pair that with my Deal Sniper to what you call it. I'm gonna pair it up to well, I use Deal Sniper for just quickly searching up taxes, also see Section 8, also to structure the email template. Their template is more like a PDF, so it's not really like for the email itself. It's something you attach to the email. But I believe there is also a way to edit it to where you can customize your own email. You can customize it, the letter of intent to put your logo in it and everything. Look into it. It's really, really cool, man. Let me know what you think. Let me know what
No,
the team.
I got it. The only issue that I have with that, and again, I'm not a developer. I don't know how much any of that stuff costs, but I do know that one of our main goals was that we wanted access to this system and the community to be as, and I don't mean cheap in a bad way, but as cheap as possible,
affordable,
especially for affordable for new people joining. So from what I understand, just from what you just told me, and again, I haven't looked into it yet, and I still think it's a great idea, even with what I'm about to say, it's worth it. But someone would have to pay whatever that's going to cost, because it's not going to be $30 a month anymore. It'll be more than that if it does that too. And then someone would have to pay for either batch leads or PropStream, which is what, like $100 a month?
Yeah.
So then they would have to have $100 a month plus whatever this upgraded version of Deal Sniper would cost. But they're getting out quadruple the volume in a week.
Oh,
More
yeah.
than that.
No, more
10
than
times
that.
the
Yeah.
volume.
Yeah.
So maybe we can have it as a side option. Like everyone can get access to the community. I don't want to gatekeep anyone from that off of a price tag. But maybe if they want that version of Deal Sniper, assuming we can get it integrated, which I'm sure that we could, then they can pay for it. That way, if the people who have the money can pay for the upgraded version, and the people who need to be on a budget can just go basic Deal Sniper until they get their first deal.
That's a really great method. I think that could work out. I'll be your first client for that product, man. It's just they have this like weird one-time setup fee, which I don't know if that's
I don't know.
necessary.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know why they would need a setup fee if you're just, because I mean, again, I don't know any of their, like, I'm not talking shit. I don't know their infrastructure at all. So there could be a very valid reason why there's a $500 setup fee, and I just don't know any better.
The thing is, it's a Google Sheets plugin. So I mean, once someone does a subscription, has a Google Sheet plugin, makes a copy, they don't need access or they don't need to pay you anymore. Maybe that's why they're expecting churn, because people might just take over and not pay them anymore.
Oh, that could be it. That's kind of janky that somebody would do that. But then again, Game of Thrones is a thing. So
Exactly. So I mean, like that could be it. I don't know. Maybe customizability may cease without their subscription, but once you already have everything set up, like there's really no reason for you to pay again, other
that's,
than for the support.
yeah.
That could be why.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
I'll talk to the developers about it and see what we can do. Like I said, I'm sure it's something we can implement, but I'm saying that without knowing a damn thing about how all that stuff works. So,
Yeah, take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your team thinks, and yeah, dude, that would be so cool, man. If you can implement that.
all right, well, we'll see if it's possible. I appreciate all the input. Please keep me posted on how this deal is going with you and Brandon if you guys need me to step in anywhere. And then if you catch any other issues with the software or the community, please let me know.
All right, Sean. Thank you so much. Actually, Brandon was literally like I was texting back and forth with him throughout this whole call. Not trying
Yeah.
to be disrespectful, but he was asking me a lot of
No,
questions.
Brandon's on point, dude. They're trying to get a deal sold. Do it.
Yes, sir.
I'd be mad at you if you didn't.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much for your support. Love
No
this
worries,
community.
dude. I'll talk to you later, man. I'll see you.
All right, man. Thank you. Bye-bye.